Hello and welcome to my channel, and today we are just going to discuss our last example on Leetcode problem of SQL 50. So this is the last example of the interview sessions which are what I am going through of gameplay and analysis 4 of aggregate functions. So I will be completing the aggregate functions with the last problem of this one only, that is gameplay analysis 4. I'm just opening for here. Okay, so this is the problem for gameplay analysis 4 is question number 550, and we have a table. What the table says is we have four column: player ID, device ID, event date, and game split. Okay, so player ID and event date is the primary key combination of the columns with unique values of this table. Now this table shows the activity of the player of some games. Each row is a record of player who logged in and played a number of games, possibly zero, where before logging out on some day using some device. Okay, so this is an table where the player is playing some games, and the events of the logging is being recorded in this table, right? So what is the question? It is saying write a solution to report the fraction of players that logged in again on the day after they first login. So the question is asking me that you need to find out the fraction of the players who had logged on the consecutive days. Okay, or more than consecutive days. So you have written the players that logged in on the day and after the day they logged in down to 2 decimal places. In other words, you need the count of the number of players that logged in for at least 2 consecutive days starting from the first login date, and then divide the total number of players. Okay, so here it is saying that at least 2 consecutive days. That means the day of count will be maybe 2 or more than 2, because it has told that at least. Maybe some players had logged in consecutively for 3 to 4 days or 5 days, maybe whatever. So I need to find the fraction of players who had logged in for more than consecutive 2 days. Okay, so any player who is logging for the first day, I will not count that one. Okay, I need to count the players who have logged in after consecutive days. Okay, so there will be an interval of 1 only. So why I am saying interval 1? Because I will be using this function, date subtraction function, date sub, and I will use the interval over here. So now see what the example it is saying. You see this table, the table will look like this one only. You have a player 1 and a device ID, and you have events and the game split. So player ID is 1, and you see the device ID is 2, and on date 1/3/2016 he had played 5 games. And similarly on the next row you see that in 2/3/2016 he had also played, and he had played 6 games. So there is a consecutive events, right? So I need to consider this player 1. I need to consider player 1. Now player ID 2, he had device ID 3, and you see it is on 25/6/2017, and you observe over here that player ID of 2 is only 1. So I will need to ignore this one, because so player ID 2 has not played for consecutive 2 days or a consecutive 3 or 4 days. So I need to omit this one. Now come to player ID 3. Player ID 3, they had played more than 1 game, but see the event date. One is on 2/3/2016 and other is on 3/7/2018. That means there is a huge difference of gap between the 2 dates. So this is not consecutive. Hence, for the 3 also I will omit this one. So what is the fraction? So fraction will be calculated on the player ID 1 only. So what is that? Only one player has only played for consecutive 2 days. So that what will be the fraction of the? So it will be 1, because one player only done. So 1 by what is the number of distinct player IDs? 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 players. So 1 by 3. So what is the solution for 1 by 3 is 0.33. Okay, and it will be taken as up to 2 decimal places. Okay, so 0.33 has been taken, right? You see the explanation also here. Only the player with 1 log backed in after the first day he had logged in, so the answer is 1 by 3. Okay, so this is what my question look like. Okay, and this is the example over here. And now let us move into the solution. How we will approach this SQL problem. Okay, so first in the step one, what I need to find it out? I need to find out the events, means the first day events. So what is the first day events? First day event is the, I will consider the minimum of the days. Means for, if you see this table, through the example only I will explain you. So this is the activity table, and you see for player ID 1, you have two dates. So if I select date, the event date, it may consider any one of the dates. But if I consider only minimum of the date, so what it will consider is, it will consider only minimum. That is, which one is minimum? 2060301 means 13216 is the minimum among the two. So it will consider the minimum one. So I need to first establish the ground that, okay, so before going for the interval, I need to ask actually which date is the first date. Okay, so for that I need to go for minimum of the date, and then I will consider the interval. So minimum of the date will be considered in this 13206. So what I will write is, for the step 1, I will go for the subquery, select player ID, and I will write minimum of which one? Event date. Okay, this one, event date, and you just name the column as first event date. Okay, I just naming it. You may not provide also. This is I am doing for the explanation only. Okay, so you may remove this part also. There is no problem. From activity table. Okay, and what I will do is, I will group by this one. So it will group by as on the player ID. So for each player ID, it will find the minimum dates. Group by. Okay, so this is what I will just execute. It will provide me a wrong answer. Okay, because this is not the complete solution. I am going for 2 to 3 steps. So this is the step 1. I need to find the minimum of the dates. So if I run this one, it will give me the minimum dates between the whatever the day they have logged in. Okay, see this one. You see player ID 1, 2, 3, and first event date is 0103. So this is 0103. It has not taken 0203, and you see 2 has only 1, so no issue. It will take this one only as 2 as minimum date only. For 3 also, you see this one is the minimum date, 0203. Yes, 0203. Okay, so minimum date is this one. Now come to the second part. Now I have to calculate the interval. So what will be the interval? I will to calculate the interval of the second date and the first date, and the interval should be 1. Okay, so now I will write on top of it, select player ID now use date sub. Now before using date sub, I will just make you go through this one. I have opened this one. So this is what Mysql date sub function. You see, this is how the query look like. Select date sub. Now I have to provide the date and use interval. Use interval and just mention it what number of interval you want to use. So this interval may be of month, day, week, whatever you want. Okay, so this is how the syntax looks like. Date sub, date, interval, value, and interval. Okay, and the parameter values over here of the interval is microsecond, second. So it's a powerful function. You may have a look in this WCS course. It will give in all the details over here. And so this is how it looks like. Okay, now jump into the question. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now what I will write over is, I will provide the date. So what is the date? I will provide event date. So event date is considered as date. You see over here, it is date. So in this table, the date is in event date. Okay, so event date. Now I will use interval. So what the interval is for the consecutive day? There will be one interval of 1, because 01 and then 02. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So interval of 1 day. So it will consider only those which is having an interval of 1 day only. So similarly it will not consider 3 because it is having interval greater than 1. Okay, so I am using date sub event date interval 1 day. Okay, and now I will use from, and you select this one. Now I will write, I will run this one, see what the result it will provide. Again I will give me the wrong answer. What is it? Every derived table must have its own alias. Okay, so what the error it was providing is every derived table must have its own alias. So I think I have to name the table as a table. Yes, A. Now run this one. It will give me a wrong answer. Okay. Okay, I need to convert it as first event date. Okay. Now see what the outcome it is coming. This is the second step of the problem. Wrong answer. Yes, see over here. Player ID 1. Now this is what I have made. It is showing the date of the previous one. You see over here. Where it is in the description. It is 1/03/2016. It is in the leap year. Okay, so the 2nd February, it will be in the February month. It will be of in the 29th month. Okay, so previous day it will be 01/03. So the previous day it will be 29. Okay, 29. Right. So this is how it will be look like. Okay. So 29/2/2016, and previously for the player ID 2 it is 25/26. So interval of 1, the previous day it will be 24/6. Similarly for 3 the minimum is 02 and it will be 0. Okay, so what I am going to show you is it is providing me a date which is previous to the minimum date. Okay, so this so like this way I will calculate the interval part and see and interval part, and we will go for the next date. Okay, so let's move to the third part. What it will go is third part is I will go for the fraction. It is the fraction of the player ID who is having the consecutive login date. So for that only I will going to select. Okay, so select count of, now I will select first, select count of distinct, select count distinct of player IDs from activity table. Now this one I will round up to 2. Okay, 2, and I will call this as fraction. Okay, I will call this as fraction. So this is my step 3 done. Now I will just interlink the step 1, step 2 and step 3 through some condition. I will use where and in. Now see, once I have written the first step 3, it is select round, means it has done the task of giving me a fraction of 2 decimal places. Okay, now I will use this fraction on step 2. So what I will do is I will use where. Okay, I have to use another. Okay, as fraction from, I haven't used from activity table. Okay, now I will use where player ID bracket start player ID date sub. Okay, and here I will change this into event date because I have to go for the next day. Okay, so once the first event date is been done, it will go for the next day. So for this reason, if I use first event date, it will not find the value. Okay, so I will use event date interval of 1 day, and in spite of using from, I will use in select player ID. I will remove A. Let me run this one. Let's see whether I can find any error or not. Okay, it has taken the code. Let me see the okay. I am getting exact answer. Now let's submit the test cases. Okay, again. Okay, it is okay now. See over here how it has worked over. I will just go for this first one. Once you get the minimum date, then go for the interval part. Okay, so it will just calculate the first minimum date and then you'll go for the event date, and it will check that whether the interval is 1. Means it will just go for interval of 1 day. It will not check actually. It will go for interval of 1 day only. Okay, so once the event date is being done for the will go for the interval, and then I will use this third step, that is the fraction part. So fraction part will calculate the fraction on the basis of step 2 and step 1, that is the event date and the first event date and the interval of 1 day. Okay, so this is how this answer look like, for the query look like. For the game plan, it is a bit complex. Okay, so you can see the solutions also, because I have taken some help from the solution also. Okay, there are many solutions which are much more easier to understand also. This is but a bit similar to me. You can use okay, another solution I was seeing, that you may use joins. Okay, so you may use joins. So join, I think you can use joins also. That one also is a very good way to go for the solution. So let me see. I think over here they have used joins. I've seen over here. Okay, see, for the step 2 only they have done join. Select a.pair id, a.event date, and then date sub. Okay, so they had used the table 2 times, and they had calculated how the interval of 1 day is being calculated. Okay, you see the example and you see the answer over here. You see this is what it will look like: player ID, event day, and the day before login. Okay, see. So this is how they have done, and here written that here we can clearly see that when it's uploaded day from the first day login date for player 1, there is a date common in event date and the day for login, that is 2603, which proves the player logged in on 260301 and 26030, making a 2 consecutive days. So what it is saying is that once it is getting a common, so it is saying that for 29 it will calculate, and again it will go for 01. Okay, so once you get a common, because I am going for the previous day and also the last day, so obviously there will be common between the event date and the what I am doing the day before the first login. This calculation from my calculation also, it was going in that way only. So by joins only they have made it much more clear. You can use this part, join part. I think this is much more easier. It's much more easier by using joins. Okay, there are other problems also. You can use anyone. Okay, so this is how the game plan analysis for question number 5550 550 look like. Okay.